In today's video game commentary, we're going to be talking about how to enjoy actually playing the games you're playing. And I know that sounds a little bit weird, but hopefully you guys will understand what I'm trying to say when we get a little bit further into the topic. What is going on YouTube? King Kevin here with some Black Ops 3 TDM gameplay on Nuketown. And actually we have 1.5 games sort of, because Nuketown games, as you guys probably know, tend to run a little bit shorter. So I recorded about 1.5 games for the sake of this commentary. Hopefully you guys don't mind, but with that out of the way, let's get into the topic, which again is how to enjoy yourself while playing video games. So I think I speak for a lot of us when I say that when we play video games, we normally do so because we want to enjoy ourselves. We want to have a little bit of fun. So why is it that I'm making this commentary on how to enjoy your video games? Well, this has something to do with any game that is released and renewed on a regular basis, whatever that basis may be in terms of time. Now that it is that time, it's starting to be very evident in game that it is that time of year again. And the way that you can pretty much tell a dead giveaway, first of all, is if you start running into the same people or you start recognizing people as you're playing the game, as you're getting into lobbies, trying to matchmake, whatever the case may be. Speaking of matchmaking, it might take longer to find a game, which is kind of true. Or at least in Call of Duty, the different game modes have a much lower percentage of the player base actually playing that type of game. And then it kind of more so shifts towards team deathmatch and domination. So those are some telltale signs, at least in Call of Duty, that the game is slowly dying or that it is reaching the end of its life cycle. And again, at this point in the year, it definitely is true for Black Ops 3. So I wanted to preface this with saying that I do have very positive feelings towards Black Ops 3. It's one of my favorite Call of Duty games, and whether or not you agree with me, that is totally a different video, so leave those comments for that specific video. But in this one, I just want to make that clear, just so you guys don't think that I'm bashing on the game. Again, I really do enjoy playing it, and no, Treyarch, as much as I wish, is not paying me for any sort of promotion or things like that. This is my honest opinion. That is why you see a lot of Black Ops 3 featured on this channel. Whenever I do have a free moment, which quite honestly isn't that often, I usually do fire up Black Ops 3 and enjoy about 1.5 to 2 hours at a time maybe. And one thing that I've come to notice is that in the past 1.5 to 2 months is that the game has become a lot more stale lately, and that it seems to be the same old song and dance. You go into a game, you kill a bunch of people, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people kind of have that negative connotation towards COD as an overarching franchise, which again, completely different video, so save that for another time. But that has become a lot more evident to me just in game. And the way I decided to combat this was to just do something different. If you guys were to watch me play Call of Duty all the time, I use the exact same gun, the exact same class over and over and over again. I use the same specialist almost all the time. I use pretty much all the same things over and over again, and that got boring for me. And now I know a lot of people play Call of Duty when they first get the game, for example. The first thing they try to do is grind out all of the challenges. So they unlock all the guns, they level up as fast as they can, they run through everything, and they try to do everything. I am not that kind of person. I simply like to play the game to have fun. I like jumping into team deathmatch, domination, hardpoint, safeguard, whatever the game mode, and just play the game and have some fun. I usually don't feel like going for example, weapon challenges, or in Black Ops 3 specialist challenges to get hero gear, or dark matter, or whatever the case may be. But in the past month or two, I've decided that I'm going to do something different. I'm actually going to try to go for these challenges to make the game a little bit more interesting for me. And that is exactly why I'm using this class right here with Weevil, Grip, Elo, and Stock. The reason why I feel really silly saying this is because, again, a lot of you probably do this. When you guys play the game, you probably get those unlocked tokens and you unlock stuff right away. For me, whatever reason, I decide to hoard those unlocked tokens until I've reached a certain point in time where I feel like, hey, I want to unlock a new gun or something like that. And I'll be really honest with you guys, I tend to unlock guns when it's double weapon XP. Otherwise, I pretty much hate leveling up guns whenever I don't have that. It feels like it takes forever, and you're just, grinding away, trying to, make a lot of kills. Sometimes it's frustrating because you don't have a crutch attachment or whatever you might want to call it. But I tend to run these different class setups when there is double weapon XP. This whole entire week, Treyarch has put double XP and double weapon XP to kind of encourage the player base to try to fire up the game again, because they know that it is the end of the game's life cycle, and they know that not a lot of people are playing. So they say, okay, we're going to release some new DLC weapons that you can try to go for, try to get some crypto keys or whatever by playing the game, but we're going to double your XP and double your weapon XP so that you have more fun, again, leveling up your guns, leveling up your player stats, stats and whatever the case may be. So I will be honest that there is a huge reason to why I decided to play this game with the Weevil. I unlocked the Weevil a few days ago, and to my pleasant surprise, I am very pleased with it actually. It is becoming a quite favorite SMG for me. I know the VMP is still god tier, as is the Vesper in certain situations, but for some reason I'm growing to like the Weevil a lot, and I never thought that I would, because a lot of people described it as kind of chunky and it just didn't really perform well or wasn't consistent, but I found that it was actually really fun to use. And yes, in the beginning when I had very little attachments or I just had like a reflex sight, it wasn't that fun to use. I felt like it was really bad, but once I started leveling up, again, double weapon XP, started unlocking these attachments and all these things for it, it started to become a lot more viable in terms of me being able to use it, and I had a lot of fun jumping around, running and gunning, flanking the enemies, and getting this gameplay for you guys. And I was even able to challenge snipers at certain ranges just because I was so mobile with something that had a decent damage and decent rate of fire. So just trying something new is incredibly rewarding, and even though you might not think it at first, it is definitely worth a try, and again, it is built into the game, so why not try it out? Now, you guys might be wondering something else, is that why do I hoard my unlocked tokens, and why don't I just, have everything unlocked at the moment? The reason is I actually have the Black Ops 3 multiplayer starter pack, which is just multiplayer. It doesn't allow you to prestige. I can't do a lot of certain things because I don't have the full version of the game. A limitation of having the multiplayer starter pack is you only get a limited number of unlocked tokens. So I wanted to level up all the way to 55, which I did a long time ago, and I wanted to basically use my unlocked tokens sparingly. So I had to decide between unlocking weapons versus unlocking certain specialists that I've never actually used. So right now, the only specialists I have are Ruin, Outrider, Spectre, and Firebreak, and I only have Ruin's Gravity Spikes. I don't have Overdrive, but the other 3 specialists, I do have their ability as well as their weapon. But the point is I had to conserve these things, and for me, it was a restriction that I felt like I wasn't actually playing the whole game, and I wasn't. Turns out that I actually love the Weevil at certain distances. It's quite good compared to, say, the Vesper at medium ranges. So that is something that I found really rewarding, is trying something new. And if you guys are, kind of set in your ways in terms of video games, I know it's really easy to do that. For example, Modern Warfare 2, everyone used the FAMAS and or the Silence UMP45. It was really rare to find someone who ran something different for secondary, or the ACR, for example. Those weapons are very good. A lot of people use them, and I don't blame them, because it is really fun in this game to use a man of war to slaughter people across the map. It's really fun to use a VMP running around, running and gunning, and it's just really fun. So I understand that, but trying something new is definitely something that can be rewarding, can be frustrating of course, but I definitely encourage you guys to do it if you want to enjoy your gaming experience too. And if you guys haven't seen my video game commentary on how to improve your game, that will also attribute to the ability for you to enjoy your video game. Of course, doing well is always fun, but you can most definitely have fun while not doing that well. But in this particular video, I did actually quite well considering how crazy I was jumping around. So I just kind of wanted to share that with you guys to hopefully give you guys some entertainment and show that even though a lot of people don't view the Weevil as a really good SMG, they would much rather have the VMP, for example, it is definitely viable in the right hands and is definitely a lot of fun to use. So that will conclude this video game commentary for you guys today. Thanks so much for watching. If you haven't already, please feel free to rate, comment, and subscribe for more content in the future, and I'll see you guys in the next video.